it's Dr. Lori. This is Ask Dr. Lori Live. Thanks for being with me. Everything's unscripted. I don't know what objects are being brought to me through, of course, the internet from my guests. Don't forget to sign up for my newsletter. It's free. It's very easy to sign up. Go to drloriv.com, subscribe there, give us your email, and we'll send the newsletter out to you. You don't have to do anything else. Make sure you open it when you get it. So let's see what we've got. Let's get started with my guests from all over. Thanks for being with me. And if you're watching from somewhere, let me know where you're watching from. Put it in the comments. Let's see what we've got. That looks kind of like a ceramic jewelry set. Can't really see it. That looks like some hanging, dangling, possibly jade piece. And then there's a doll. Let's see what the doll looks like. Hi, what's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hi, Dr. Lori. I'm Amy. I'm calling from Albany, New York.
Hey, Amy. So what have you got there?
I have a Wendy Ann doll from the 30s. She's in her original box.
Yes, she's from the early, that's right. She's from the early 20th century, about the 1930s into the 1940s. In her original box, in her original clothing. She's got her original tags. Oh,
she has a tag.
Yeah.
She actually has an RH Macy's price tag on the back of her hat, which is cute, which I left.
That's great. Can you hold her up to the camera so we can see the front of her? So, okay, the face, of course, is going to be important. They actually would make the faces, actually as if they looked like they were full in movement. So not just flat like a lot of dolls of this time period in what to look for. Jointed bodies, jointed limbs, right? Yep. And how did you acquire it? Was it in the family?
Nope. Estate sale, $3.
Oh, well, that's very nice.
Yep.
Retail value today, about $75. So that's a good one.
All right. Thank you.
You're welcome. Values are always based on actual sales records where similar pieces have sold. That's an appraisal. It's not a list price, right? Remember, when you see a list price, that doesn't mean that something's selling. That means that something's sitting. So that's what we're looking at there. That's a nice piece. Dolls are fun. A lot of people collect dolls and like dolls very much. Some little crystal necklace. Looks like we've got also a framed matted piece. And then we have a piece of cast metal piece. Looking back into the Etruscan era, let's take a look at that crystal piece. Crystal necklace, looks like beads. Hi, what's your name?
Hi, Dr. Lori. I'm Gail from Indiana.
Hi, Gail. It's nice to see you. Your necklace is beautiful. How did you acquire it?
Estate sale.
I like the size of the beads. That's what I like a great deal about this. I like the size of the beads. I also like the fact that they've got spacers in between. Gives a little bit more texture to the whole necklace. How much did you pay for it?
Like $1.15.
Oh my goodness.
They were like in a group of 13 for $15.
So did you take all 15? All 13? You did.
It was online too.
Always a good idea.
Online too.
So an online estate sale.
Yeah, I was wondering, is it Art Deco because they're like etched? Each bead is like etched on each end with a flower.
Art Deco would indicate that the piece dates between 1922 and 1936. Your piece probably dates from the late 1950s, early 1960s.
Okay.
So technically not Art Deco. If you're a purist and you're saying, was it made during those periods? No. Is it Art Deco in style? No. But basically geometric forms tend to have that Art Deco feel. I think it's really a quite nice piece. Is it marked in any way? Is the clasp marked?
No, it's not. It's got the barrel clasp, but I could not find any markings anywhere on it.
I do think it's European. I think it's probably made in Germany. And I would say value on that piece easily $125.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So very good for a buck or two, Gail. Very good for a buck or two.
Thank you. What kind of crystals would they be? Just
they're Austrian crystals. I think they're probably Germanic in origin, right? So we call them Austrian crystals, but they're Austrian crystals. Okay. They're very high quality. They sparkle very well, and the fact that they take an etching well, right? So the etched element is nice and sharp. That's also that's also a criteria or trait of a very good quality crystal. Thanks, Gail.
Thank you very much.
You're very welcome. So mid-century modern, but again, when that etching of that crystal is nice and sharp, then you know that you have a high quality piece. So look for that too. I'll always teach you what to look for, and of course, tell you what the values are based on actual sales records. Curious about the green fuzzy looking stuff I have on vintage jewelry. What is it? How do you get rid of it? Well, okay, here's the problem. A lot of pieces, and thank you very much for showing your appreciation to the channel with super chats and super stickers, super questions. I call them super questions. A couple of different things. There are a lot of elements that will deteriorate, of course, pieces of jewelry, whether it's costume or fine jewelry. And sometimes they are actually green in their look, right? So sometimes that can be any kind of deterioration or corrosion that will take place. Certain metals will corrode more than others. I talk about this on my website. So if you want to learn more about what types of metals are used in costume jewelry, also, of course, how plating becomes extremely important and which pieces will be more apt to corrode. That's what you're seeing. How do you get rid of it? Remember that if you don't know how to properly clean or safely clean pieces, you should be very careful before you take the advice of folks online who are saying, I did this, I did that. If they are not professional restorers or cleaners of course, costume jewelry, you could run the risk of damaging that piece. So you want to be very careful before you take some kind of person's test or idea, to clean something. But yeah, corrosion is what you're dealing with, and it's not unusual. It's not unusual for pieces of costume or fine jewelry. So anywhere. So that's very hard to see because of the light. It looks like it's a prism bracelet, but very hard to see because of the light. And this one is backlit. And then we've got that piece, which looks to be gold in the music. And then I have what looks like it's just a frame. It looks like it's just a frame. So let's talk a little bit about this piece that is, in fact, just the frame. And the reason why I'm going to do this is because a lot of you talk about paintings and you want to know more about paintings. I have a lot of videos about paintings and frames. And what you need to do is use the BINGE link in order to, of course, access them. Hi, it's Dr. Lori. How are you?
Hi, I'm Marco. How are you?
Hi, Marco. It's nice to see you.
Nice to see you.
Tell me about this nice frame. Then I'm going to ask you to show us the front and the back. I might ask you to get a little closer so we can see some detail, Marco.
Okay.
Thank you, darling.
Like this.
So there we go. All right. Yeah, that's a very nice frame. Let's stay right there at one corner. Let's just stay in one corner. Here's why. You can learn a lot about a frame by just dealing with one corner. The miter corner, the corner, of course, the right angle is a very nice way to actually identify time period for your frame. Now, your frame is a European frame, and your frame probably date. Yes, you know that for sure.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah, I bought it last week at a thrift store for 22 euro.
Okay, and how big is it?
It is 50 centimeters
50
here.
Okay.
And 39.
Okay. All right. So
it's a bit gold also here. I don't know. It's like,
it's intended to be for a landscape painting. It looks like, now here's the back, and here's how we know that the piece is 19th century, late 18th, early 19th century. Two things that are happening. First of all, you have a nice corner on that frame indicating, of course, the fact that it is European, probably the southern part of Europe, Spain, Portugal, Italy. The other element with it is the type of wood. We saw a good grain shot over here. If you go to the other side for me, Marco, let's see what kind of wood we got. Oh, okay. Okay. All right. And then the front of the piece, in fact, shows you that you have not only hand-carved native wood, but you also have, of course, applied gilding, right? So gold leaf has been applied, and that's called water gilding. So they do that with a process utilizing water, much more labor-intensive, much more costly, much more desirable. So I would put this frame sometime between 1830 and 1865. And I would say for its size, you're probably looking at a frame that could command as much as $350 just for the frame alone. That's US dollars.
Okay.
Yeah. So for your 22, 25 euro, excellent job. Excellent job.
Thank you.
So
Thank you.
people, thumbs up for sure. People like the two-tone and of course gold. If you've got a gold accented frame, it's always going to increase in value. That's a nice one, Marco. I like that. Even without a painting, it's a nice frame. All right, let's see. So we've got what looks like a pin, and then we have a set, which looks like it is actually porcelain, and then it has some gold on top of it. Let's take a look at the set. Looks like a brooch and then some earrings, and they might be, in fact, Now, porcelain or ceramic jewelry became very popular after World War II. There are many designers who actually worked with ceramics for jewelry, and people are surprised by that. They always think it is typically brass settings and faux pearls and those kinds of things. Hi, what's your name?
Hi, my name is Judith.
Hi, Judith. Where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Canada.
Nice to see you. So I like this piece a lot, and I'm trying to get a sense of what the little images are on it. Are they, I can't really, I'm getting, tilt it downward if you would, Judith. Tilt it downward. There you go. So it looks like I have some, it looks like I have some zodiac signs on there. Those, the symbols. How did you acquire them?
So we got it at a thrift store.
Okay. And how much did you pay? And are they pierced earrings and then a brooch?
Yes, so it's a brooch, and they weren't pierced earrings. Now they are pierced. I removed the back because I was afraid of losing it. But here's the backing. It's the twist.
Oh, so you decided to make them pierced. However, they weren't pierced originally.
That's right.
Okay. All right. So anytime you alter a piece, you alter its value. You could alter it for the better, or you can alter it for the worse, right? So you can increase its value or decrease its value. But once you alter it, it's no longer what it was intended to be, and now value changes, okay? So those are, of course, those are screw backs, right? And you screw them, screw them, screw them, and then they get closer to your earlobe, and they really pinch, and they hurt, and you were afraid you were going to lose them. But in fact, they're not marked at all.
They're not marked.
They're not marked at all. They date to the latter part of the 1940s into the early part of the 1950s. And of course, they're ceramic, and then they have some gilt overlay, those little elements. I would say for the earrings, $25, and for the brooch, another $30. So you're at $55 for the set as they are now. If you had left them in their original state where you had the screw back, you'd probably get $65. So you lost $10 on making them secure for you, but they're yours. So you might say, I don't care, Dr. Lori, because I'm going to wear them and I like them. And you're entitled to that. It's your stuff. But in terms of altering that piece, in this case, it goes down. But I have seen people alter pieces and do a wonderful alter pieces, make pieces that are different, not an alter piece, but make pieces that are different and change them out and enhance them. And then sometimes they increase the value. So thanks for being with me.
Thank you, Dr. Lori.
You're welcome. People are oftentimes surprised to see ceramics that are actually utilized in jewelry. So that's basically what we're seeing as well. So yes, you will miss if you don't watch the binge, if you don't use the binge link. So thank you for watching the binge link. Yes, a whole lot of information that I do, of course, and it is broadcast from other networks and such. So that's always on the binge link. So I hope you'll use it. You can find that on my specials and shop page at drloriv.com. Thank you for watching. I'm glad you caught it because there's a lot more information there too. Guests galore. Let's see. That's a nice landscape. Got a landscape painting there. Looks like she might be in a car. And then we've got, well, hey, wherever the internet is good, right? It's all about connections. We've got an egg, and then we've got a vase. So I don't know if I can really see. So it looks like you've been treasure hunting right there in your car. Let's take a look at this painting. So are you on the treasure hunt? Are you on the treasure hunt right now? Because that's what we all love. We love the treasure hunt.
I got it today from my ex-husband's house. I was cleaning for him.
Well, that sounds very good.
Can I change the camera to? I'm going to turn the setting so I can get a better picture for you.
I don't know what you're going to do.
How about this?
It's not that
Give me
good.
a second.
Not
It's coming.
Good. So
no.
She's gone. Well, we have got to move it along. She wants to change things now while you got me. You got to get me while you get me. All right. We'll see what we've got. So I didn't know whether or not she could do that. I like this piece. I'd like to see this person's face, though.
Oh, that's me, Dr.
I do like to see your face. How about in front of the camera?
Oh, I'm trying.
There it
I
is.
can't figure this out. It's
well, that's close. Well, if you can't figure out the camera, then I don't know how I'm going to help you.
I know.
I mean, in all good due respect,
I was trying to get the picture right.
All right. I want to look at the gold necklace.
Oh.
Hi, honey. How are you? I'm glad to see a little excitement because you know what? Not a lot of excitement lately. It was just like, oh, yeah, Dr. Lori's just going to do everything. Hi, honey. How are you?
I'm well. Thank you for asking.
Nice to see you. What's your name?
My name is Linda.
Hi, Linda. Well, how did you acquire this stalagmite, stalactite? Hi, Chris. Thank you for your support.
Oh, my gosh. Dr. Lori, I got all set, the whole set.
You got the
Okay?
whole set. You got to put it in front of the camera and you got to back up.
All
You're
right.
too
here we
close on
go.
top of the camera. Back straight up. Okay, good. So you got earrings, you got a brooch, you got necklace. Oh, you got the whole thing. Is it marked?
It's Marcel Boucher.
It's marked Boucher, Boucher. Some people pronounce the R, some people don't. It's not a big deal. All right.
Yep.
So you got the whole set. So tell me what you had again, because I was stepping on your words. I apologize. The set is?
The set is the bracelet. It's a stretch, and you can see it's gold inside. So it's
Yep,
not
I see it.
It's beautiful. It's also marked with a number. So
Okay, so what, Linda, wait a minute, honey, before you go on and on. So you have the bracelet, you have the necklace. Do you have earrings?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. All right, great. Boucher piece, early 1960s, gorgeous and properly marked. How much did you pay?
Okay, this was in the
How much did you pay?
I'm going to tell you $5.
You're gonna tell me $5 for all four pieces?
Well, yeah, I got them at two different Goodwills. This was in one, okay, and I saw this really gold, buttery gold, and I picked it up. I didn't know what it was until I got home.
Wow.
Yeah, and then this was like $2.98, two something, and then the next week I went to a different Goodwill, and this was in the case, and I recognized it right away.
Wow.
And I grabbed it for $3.
Well, see, this happens a lot. A lot of you, when you're treasure hunting, you go to a place where all of the thrift stores are in one like area. A lot of you do that, or you go back to the same ones. It just depends. It's very commonplace. Sometimes half of the tea set gets put out, and then the next week, the next half gets put out. It's the same thing with those pieces. I'm sorry, what were you saying?
I said it depends. I travel all over to all of them in the area where I live.
So it depends. Linda, value on your piece is $400 for the 3 pieces. That's the pair of earrings, the bracelet, and the necklace. Good for you, sweetheart. Based on actual sales records, Boucher sells very, very well. One of many actually high-end costume jewelry designer pieces, mid-century modern. That'll sell like that. And if you haven't seen my video about success stories, check it out. You're going to be amazed at all the information about how you can actually know where to sell these pieces and what to do right from the horse's mouth, right from people just like you who have, of course, gone treasure hunting and then had me help them and then sold their items for good money, good money. My guests are here. Let's see what's happening. So that looks like a little glass piece. And then we've got this funny egg. I don't know. I'm not big with eggs. I don't know what it is. And then we've got that brooch. See that's really not a very good, not a very good connection on the glass, unfortunately. So can't really see it very well. It's not clear enough. Sometimes the connections aren't clear enough is the problem. So you might want to check your Wi-Fi, your internet as well. Same thing there. Same thing with that piece. Let's see where else we are. Well, then we've got this piece. Let's take, I know I'm going through my mind of what I want to teach you.
You are, but you've yawned 3 times already.
Well, sometimes you have to be patient. Someone said, I've been on 3 times already. You have to be patient because there's a lot going on here. And I have to make sure that I'm getting the information out. Let's take a look at this piece that is, of course, the metal vessel. Let's talk about, early antique pieces. And when art historians like me talk about antique pieces, we're talking about antiquity. We're talking about, the beginning, of course, the beginning of the Western civilization, Mesopotamia and such. We're thinking about the ancient Romans, the ancient Greeks, the ancient Mesopotamians. We're talking about people like the Etruscans and such. How'd you acquire this? What's your name?
Hi, my name is Gus. I got it in Europe at a flea market.
Can you back up, Gus, so we can see the whole object? Because it's right on top of the camera and I can't get a good, there it is. Yeah. Okay. Where are you calling from, Gus?
Kansas City.
It's nice. So you purchased it where in Europe? Were you in Southern Europe?
I was in Paris at a flea market.
You were in Paris and you purchased it. Okay.
Yeah.
So you're showing me what? The top of it?
The
like
lid.
A lid?
Yeah,
Can you show me the underside of that lid?
Yeah, it's...
So it's cast.
Yeah, it's very, very rusted. And
It's not that old. All right. And then the bottom of it, in my world, it's not that old.
Okay.
So, you know, I've touched mascara jars that date to 880 BC. You know, 80 BC is when Cleopatra was walking around putting makeup on. You know,
Yeah.
that's old.
Yeah.
That thing is not that old. Can I see the base, please? The bottom portion? You got to back it up for me. Okay, what do you know about it? You didn't do
Not
any
much.
research? You didn't do one Google search? Come on, Gus.
I tried. I was told it was Chinese, which it doesn't seem
Show
like
us
that
the
to
side.
me.
I'll show you why it's not Chinese.
Yeah.
See those elements right there?
Yeah.
All of that, of course, relates to hieroglyphs, and it replaced to Dura Europas. Basically, what you're looking at is in fact, these forms that relate to the early Middle East. So
Okay.
it is not that. You would see these pieces in Turkey, and you'd see these pieces usually in the southern Mediterranean. I would the Bosphorus Strait, for example, near Istanbul in Turkey and such.
Yeah.
I would say, how tall is it? Is it 15 inches tall?
I think it's taller. But
Give me
about
an
that
idea.
size, yeah.
Do you think it's 18 inches tall?
Yeah, probably 18
All right.
plus.
18 inches tall. It's a revival style, so it dates to the early part of the 19th century, the early 1800s. Looking back at earlier classical items, vessels, value on that piece $250. What did you pay?
About 100 euros.
Good, you did all right.
Yeah.
So you paid less than half price, which was good.
Yeah.
So nice piece, not your everyday piece. It is mimicking storage jars, storage vessels that you would find, of course, of the ancient world. That's nice, Gus.
What would they try to store in here, I suppose?
They could usually, when a storage vessel is like that, it's not going to be for oils. It's usually going to be for grain. When you see a storage vessel that is that sort of bulbous, and two handles is usually grain. But you know, when they're mimicking something or when they're reviving something, it's not always exactly what it would normally have been used for. So it's more of a decorative item, Gus. Thank you. Not the typical thing you see, so we like to show you the typical and the atypical. So you're getting a little bit of everything here with me. This is Ask Dr. Lori Live. Thanks for being with me. My guests are from all over, showing me all different objects. Everything's unscripted. I don't know what's coming. And of course, there's more information about art, antiques, and collectibles on my website at drloriv.com. Well, let's take a look at the teacup and the plate. It looks like it's probably part of a larger set.
It is. I've got 44 pieces, I believe it is. I've got
So 44 pieces would be considered a partial set, right?
Okay. I've got that, and I have a platter with it. That's
well, I was going to explain that a partial, usually when we talk about a service, we talk about, we have 8 or we have 12. We have place settings that have 4 to 6 different, of course, pieces of a place setting. And then if you have anything that is not a complete service, then we call them partial services. It's not bad. You could have lots of dinner parties with partial services. It doesn't matter.
Oh, yeah.
But in fact, so you have how many dinner plates?
I have 8.
And how many cups, teacups?
The cups are short. I only have 6 cups.
Okay, right there is why you have a partial set. Okay?
Right.
Because you can't lay it out for 8.
And I have 7 saucers to go with 6 cups.
Right.
All the other parts, I have a little bowl, a bread plate. I think it's a salad, a soup bowl, maybe. It's got more plates that I know what to do with. But
can I see the mark on the back, please? Is there any
others? Like this one here, show the easiest. Can you see it in there?
Not really. So what does it say?
It's hard.
So what does it say?
It looks like a little Mount Fiji sign, maybe.
Oh, so it's Kutani ware? Okay. So you have a Japanese set. May I see the front so we can see the decoration? The decoration is going to relate to pattern, but in Asian ceramics, we don't always see that kind of pattern. Right in front. There it is. That's what we want to see. Don't move it. Leave it right there. So a couple of different things that you look for when you look for the quality. First of all, the abundance of silver or gold. You're looking for metallics. People like it, and it's expensive to, of course, apply it. You're looking for a design that actually will capture, of course, the interest as a work of art, like a painting on your plate. That's the idea of course, beautiful paper porcelain pieces. Now, I'm sorry for all the P's, but basically the alliteration, but what you're looking at here is a paper porcelain. She holds it up and you almost can see through it. That's how beautiful it is. I would say it's from Japan. How did you acquire it?
I think I got it at auction.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So you purchased it at auction, probably not for a lot. Did you get all 44 pieces, including
Yeah,
the
I
flat?
got them all at one time. Yeah.
Okay. Value on your 44 pieces, about $275 for 44 pieces, as long as none of them are chipped, cracked, or of course damaged in any other way. That means no scrapes across them. Somebody didn't take a knife and scrape across them
No
either.
scrapes or scrubs. The cup here has when you tip it up, you can't see it with the lighting, but it's got a geisha head in it when you tip it up.
That's paper porcelain. Yes.
Is
that's
that what
very
is?
common.
Like that? Okay. Well, I had never seen it before.
Very common place to have, of course, when you hold up the paper porcelain to see an image, of course, of a geisha. That's very typical of it. I would say $275 for your 44 pieces. And when people go to resell it, some people will resell a cup and a saucer together and do it that way. Thanks so much for being with me with those. That's a nice set. It's unfortunate when the sets get broken up, because when you have the full set, you can increase value by more percentages. So you can really increase value. So I appreciate, of course, you showing your support of what we do with your super chats and super stickers. Thank you. And I hope that you're learning a lot from all of the videos that we have provided for you. If you haven't used the binge link, then you're missing the nearly 1,000 videos that I have presented for you to teach you what's what. Let's take a look at the clock. Hi, what's your name?
Hi, I'm Trina.
Hi, Trina. Where are you calling from?
From Oregon.
Nice to see you. So, Trina, tell me, I got a new haircut and it's kind of itchy around my face. I'm sorry.
It looks good.
I'm not used to it. Well, she's very good. I don't even like to sit still so long, but it takes a long time to do all this, right? Anyway, but it's itchy. I'm like itchy. It's like, flying away. Anyway, tell me about your clock, and then I'll tell you what I think. Was it a treasure hunt that you got? Where'd you get this?
Yeah, I got it at an estate sale.
Nice. I like it. Does it run?
Yes, it does.
Okay. How does it keep good?
It's got the 3 holes, and I have the key as well.
Does it keep good time?
It runs a little bit fast, but I haven't really played around with the speed a whole lot.
Okay, so there might be an S and an F on the back that you can actually move.
Yes.
So you can let it run a little faster or slower. You know how to work that. So, and on the back is the actual clock. Give me a chance, Randy. I'm getting to it. Is the clock marked in the back?
Yes, it is. The gears are marked WML Gilbert Clock Co. Winsted, Connecticut.
So that's, of course, an American clock, the Gilbert Clock Company. So that means that the clock's works are made in one place, right? And then the clock case is made in another place. So that particular piece is right along the Connecticut shoreline where most American clocks of the early 20th century are made, just like this one. The ceramic and hand-painted case is probably not made in Connecticut. It could be made in New York. It could be made in Chicago. Value on this piece, they go for about $150 for a clock like that in working condition. It's very important that you have the key. And I noticed that you showed it to me because I always talk about the key. It's key to have the key. So you don't want to give up the key, of course. If you have to have the clock serviced, don't give up the key to a clock service person, a clock maker, if you will, because you know what? You don't want the key to get lost, and they are in value. Yeah, rats. It's not French. It's American, but it's another nice American clock.
Is the casing French style?
The casing is a style that is in fact called Rococo Revival. So the Rococo is, of course, French 18th century. This style is very popular. It's revived in the 1920s. Some people might mistakenly call it Victorian, which would allude to the fact that it looks kind of English. I would say it's French style, but it's not a French clock, and that's important.
Right. So. And then is there anything I can do about the patina on the front?
That's not patina, darling. That's not done intentionally. What that is corrosion. So again, a professional restorer is the way to go. I would contact your local museum and ask them for a reference for a local restoration expert. Don't just do it yourself. And don't just take the advice of folks who you don't know who they are online saying, you could just use this, you could just use that. Be careful. You might ruin the whole thing.
Yeah, I haven't touched it because I was concerned about that.
Okay. Thanks, Trina.
All right. Thank you.
Yeah, she did very well. She did very well in finding that piece. So estate sales, yard sales, auctions, all over the place. You know where the stuff is. The treasure is on. The treasure is on. Yeah, Randy was almost right. but almost doesn't count. You got to be right. That's why we had to wait to get the information. You just needed another 30, 40 seconds there. But I like the fact that you guys are guessing, and I like the fact that you're on the treasure hunt with me. Take me on the treasure hunt. I will find you the treasures, people. I'll find them for you. Lots of things that we're going to see. My guests are here. Let's see what they've got. So there's one of the bajillion tie beanie babies. You know, one complaint about tie beanie babies, do not ever send a tie beanie baby or any other object to anyone to have it evaluated. I personally never accept anything. So I tell people, I want to send it to you. Don't send me anything in terms of that. Your object should stay with you. If somebody cannot evaluate your piece from a photograph, you need to find me. But do not send those pieces, you know, to anyone. Oh, I have to do this. Oh, I have to do that. You may not see it back again. So be very careful about that. But that just made me think of course, the tie situation and something with small pieces. A lot of people have that situation. So let's see what we've got. What is that noise? Gosh, that's terrible. Let's take a look at this piece that looks like it's a figural cast round pin. It might be a locket. Let's take a look at that. Hi, how are you?
Hi, I'm good, Dr. Lori.
Good. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
I'm Liz from Tucson.
Hi, Liz. It's nice to see you. Tell me a little bit about this piece.
So it is a pin. It's not a locket. It is three-dimensional, and it looks as if it's got the birth of Venus.
Get it closer to the camera. I can't really see it very well. Oh, there it is. So there she is. When I taught art history, my students at Penn State used to say it's Venus on the half shell. And it was true, because she comes in, of course, of the sea foam. Born of the sea is Venus. And there's her shell. And then you can see, of course, some flowing sort of garments, that kind of things. And that's what we're seeing here. Now, you'll notice the C curve of that pin at the back, which indicates that this piece, of course, is early part of the 20th century, or the Edwardian period. So you're seeing very early 1900s for, in fact, that hook that the pin goes into. The pin goes into a C hook there. So that's a very nice piece. I would say it's obviously cast. Now, have you done any polishing of it with respect to the metal? Okay. How'd you acquire it? Where did you see it? Why did you buy it?
I got it at an antique fair.
Okay.
He wanted $25 for it. I offered $15. We settled on $20 because I'd never seen anything like it.
Okay.
And,
so uniqueness is what got you. Right?
Yeah, the uniqueness. It's got little oak leaves around the back there.
Images of Venus, very, very popular for many reasons, and they date as early as the 1870s and as late as the 1925. Yours, because of the C pin holder, that little clasp, if you will, is going to date it to the Edwardian period, 1910, 1920, in that neck of the woods. It's a base metal, an inexpensive metal. It has not been plated, but the casting work is very, very nice. And it's typical that these pieces would be used to, of course, a pin of a large lot of a collar with a lot of fabric, a lot of material, or scarves typically. Value on the piece is going to be about $75. So you paid 1/3 of what it's worth, a little less than 1/3 of what it's worth. So you did fine. You did fine.
All right. Okay, good. Thank you.
My pleasure. My pleasure. So a lot of people will say, okay, well, that wasn't so high, but maybe I could find somebody who loves Venus or collects the subject matter. That's another collecting tip that you want to think about. It's also a reselling tip for those of you who are saying, well, I may not be able to sell this as the person who sold it to her. He wanted, $20. That's what you're looking at. So I love Carmen and Dave. There it is. A shout out to them. I love them too. I love all of you. And the thing that I really love is the way in which these people support, of course, and show their appreciation for what I do for them. So it's great to see them. And I'd like to see, of course, more of you, of course, participating in Ask Dr. Lori Live. So that's great. Yeah, I've got some oldies but goodies. Those videos are not all that old, but I do a lot of videos, of course, many, many all week long. So don't miss the binge link. Let's see. That's a nice vase. And she has a nice smile. And let's see what else we've got. And then we've got this piece, which is a ceramic piece. Let's take a look at the, I can't see the mark on the bottom of this vase, but I do like the I do like the attention to the glaze. So let's take a look at this piece. It's sort of green at the bottom and pink at the top, and it has a pinched neck.
Hi, Dr. Lori.
Hi, how are you?
I'm excited to be with you again. This is my second time, and I was so nervous the first time.
Well, don't be nervous. You should never be nervous. I'm here to help you. What's your name?
I love you.
Thank you.
It's Gina, and I'm in Virginia Beach, Virginia.
Hi, Gina. So how did you acquire this? This doesn't look like Virginia Beach, Virginia, this object.
No, this looks like a Southwestern piece. On the bottom, it says it's by Betty Selby, 24 karat gold.
Can you show me? And all the rest of us? I know it's hard to hold the camera and hold the object. So I'm glad you love the information. If you love the information, you need to share the videos. You people are all, I love you, Dr. Laura. I love you, Dr. Stop telling me. I know you love me. Tell everybody else. Let's share the knowledge, huh? Let's get the information out there because there's all kinds of misinformation out there. People saying all kinds of stuff that's not right. Get my right information out there. Share it. Put it on a social media channel. Do it. I'm glad you love the channel. It's why I'm working my you-know-what off. This piece here is Southwestern. The gold is important, and they do indicate, a lot of these pieces do indicate how much gold and the fineness of the gold is there. Yeah, follow Elizabeth Ann and share, all of you. I want to see sharing. I love you, Dr. Lori. Don't tell me, tell other people. That piece also I like because it is late 20th century. It does look like the Southwest. And I have to say, I like the hand painting of it. I like the little fence line. I like the trees. I like the details, of course, of the clouds and of the gold. How much did you pay for it?
I paid $3 for it.
Relatively well-known studio ceramist or artist who works in ceramics, ceramist. Value on that particular piece you're looking at just $70. So that's a nice piece for a bud vase with a bulbous bottom, Southwestern, pretty typical of the style. Now, it's no Maria Martinez, but you know, it's a nice piece. I like it.
Thank you so much.
Really my pleasure. Thank you for watching and sharing and doing all the good that you're doing. So we love the treasure hunt. You know, all of you do, and I do, of course, along with all my friends on Oak Island. The treasure hunt is going on there still. And then we've got this necklace, and it looks like some earrings and maybe a bracelet. It looks like it's a set. So let's take a look at that set. Necklace, earrings, bracelet. Hi, what's your name?
Hi, it's Lucy from New Mexico.
Hi, Lucy. Can you get that whole set a little closer so I can see it well? So though I can't really get a good sense of these elements. Are these little faux pearls?
No, they're little white stones. And
so get closer to the camera for me and tilt it down. So they're colorless stones.
Yes.
Is it marked?
It's marked Monet.
There it is. Now we got it. Yeah, better.
Oops.
Better. Stop moving. All right. Okay. All right. So you've got a late 1960s, early 70s Monet piece. It's marked. It goes about 20 inches. It's got a necklace and then it's got hanging earring. I'm sorry, a bracelet and then hanging earrings too, right?
Right.
How'd you acquire it?
I got it on a online Goodwill auction.
Did you pay more than $200 for it?
Oh, good Lord, no. I think it probably works out to about $253 for each piece of it.
For each piece. So, you know, $10, something like that. I would say $2.50. So maybe $7, $10 for the whole three set.
Right.
I would say value on that three-piece says just about $100. So you did very well.
Great.
Yeah, to pay 10% is where I like you all to be. I like you all to be paying about 10%. Of course, that's based on actual sales records. And I'm showing you that the appraised values, people are getting it. People just like you. So, and if you want to learn more, stay right here with me. I'm Dr. Lori. Thanks for being with me. I'll see you next time.